It was a time in my life where I became a drug dealer and I failed at it. True story. Ladies and gentlemen, I go by the name Young Blaze. I know I'm a rapper amongst a lot of other things. But anyway, I searched high and low for the best animators, the best drawers I can find to tell my story. But in the end, I found the greatest draw ever. My 5-year-old niece. So you if you hating. Yo, back when I was younger, my dad had a good ass job. He used to work for the city. He would work a lot of overtime, so he made a lot of money. His paychecks were crazy. So he would bring home all this money, and we would get, I kid you not, me and my little brother get about $100 a week, almost $150 a week for allowance. Shit was crazy. Make it even more crazy, I remember one time my mom borrowed $300 from me. And it was crazy because I had $300 just lying around just for her to borrow it. Nigga, I'm 13. Make it even more crazy, I remember she didn't even bother to pay me back. And I'm waiting where's my 300 at? So I'm pissed off, the world is just not fair. My mom borrowed some money from me, she won't pay it back, and I know she got it. Crazy thing is, I went up to her at church. She was with our friends, and anybody that knows any black women that go to church and they with their friends, that's not the right time to kind of approach them about some money. Walk up to her, I said, hey, Mom, check it out. I want my $300, you gonna pay me back? Her friends looked at me, they looked at her, she looked at me, and they like, why'd you borrow $300 from your son? He's 13. She hit him with excuse me for 1 second, grabbed me by the collar, pulled me to the side, and said, don't you ever do that ever again. Times got a little tough, the economy started to fall, so my dad wasn't bringing as much money as he used to, so we went from getting $150, $100, maybe sometimes $75 to $40 to just sometime nigga no. So growing up, I had a lot of cousins that your parents warned you about, not to socialize with them because they was up to some crazy stuff. That was my cousins. I remember one of my cousins in particular used to have a bunch of iceberg sweaters, and back in the day they had Mickey Mouse on it and Donald Duck and Bugs Bunny, and for some reason these sweaters were $400. This nigga had 8 of them. I'm like, cuz, put me on. Come to find out, this nigga sold weed, and I mean a shitload of weed. So I convinced him to let me sell weed for him, right? I remember he gives me a Ziploc bag and he's trying to break down to me how to sell it, all this other stuff, and I'm not paying attention because I'm thinking about these iceberg sweaters. I'm like, I'm gonna get one for me, my mom, my dad. Nigga, we finna be an iceberg sweater family. So he gives me a week to sell it. Now, I'm thinking logically that if I sell weed at a very low price, I could drive out my competition, and that way, when all my competition is gone, then I can raise my prices and I'll be the man. But I learned that when it comes to selling drugs, nigga, it's no time to be innovative. It's just, you just do what you gotta do. I tried to sell something that was worth maybe $20 for $5. Something that was worth $50 for $10. I was selling weed like crazy. I remember this one guy, he looked at me so strange where he thought I was the police because he was like, this deal is too good to be true. And sure enough, as I go back to my cousin and I'm excited, I'm like, yes, I sold all the weed. Where them iceberg sweaters at, nigga? I remember he was sitting in the car with this ugly ass dude that looked he was so black, he looked like a special effect. That's how ugly this dude was. So he's like, cuz, where the money? You sold everything? I said, yes. So I give this nigga $300. And he's like, I thought you sold everything. I said, I did. He said, then where's the rest of it? I said, what you mean? He's like, no, where's the rest of the money? I'm like, cuz, that's what I got. So going back to the ugly dude, this dude starts co-signing no, man, this nigga hiding the money. I'm looking like, who the hell is this nigga? My cousin was like, hold up, cuz, so be real with me. Did you get robbed or something? Because you should come back with a lot more money than this. I'm like, cuz, so my strategy was I was going to sell it at a lower price, knock out all my competition, and that way, when it's time, I can, raise my prices. So in the meantime, what's up? I'm going to need you to go ahead and give me some more, product. And, oh, where did you get your iceberg sweater from? He's like, cuz, let me tell you something. I believe you, and that's the sad part about it. But let me tell you something. You have to be lucky that you are related to me because shit like this get you killed, beat up, or up. And I remember the ugly dude was just looking at it till this day, I don't like that nigga. I don't even know what he's up to. He's probably up to doing ugly nigga activities or something. So my cousin was like, this ain't the life for you. You have failed. So you will never ever try this again? I'm telling your mother what you up to. So that way you'll never ever touch this shit ever again. And I remember I'm like, nigga, but I got the product from you. So the whole time I was scared because I wasn't sure if he was gonna tell my mom or not. So every time when I would see this nigga at family functions, I would avoid him. And so the way how he would actually get at me was like, he would make fun of me to his friends, be like, you know, this nigga just sold this for this, that, and the third. But, you know, the moral of the story is I failed terribly as a drug dealer. And I never got those iceberg sweaters. So I guess it all balanced out. Cause now I make dope ass music. I know you mad to see how the rhythm I give 'em, how you thinking I pimp 'em. I just step up in the club, show a little love with 'em. Where them iceberg sweaters at, nigga? And oh, if you like the song that played at the end, you can go to my website. Send a link, description, download it for free. Peace.